Avoiding refined sugars and processed flours. Did you know that an innocent-looking sweet treat or warm loaf of bread might be more dangerous to your health than it seems? Many foods that are part of our daily lives hide pitfalls that compromise our well-being and slowly drain our metabolism. It's no surprise that metabolic diseases like diabetes and obesity are becoming more common. But why are these foods so harmful? And is it possible to trick the brain and body into not craving them? Let's find out together. What happens in the body when you consume sugar and refined flour? When we eat foods rich in sugar and refined flour, they're quickly converted into glucose, causing a sudden spike in blood sugar levels. This forces the body to release large amounts of insulin, triggering a metabolic roller coaster. Excess insulin not only stores more fat in the body but also leads to insulin resistance, paving the way for type 2 diabetes. Additionally, these constant spikes contribute to silent inflammation, accelerating aging and increasing vulnerability to diseases. Now, imagine the impact of this on your daily life. You eat something sweet, feel energized for a few minutes, and soon after, fatigue and hunger set in, making you crave more sugar. Doesn't that seem like a vicious cycle? That's the trick of refined sugar and processed flours. They deceive the brain, creating a false sense of pleasure and energy. But what's the real cost of this momentary pleasure? Even healthy foods can be a trap. Sometimes, we go for gluten-free options, believing we're making a healthier choice. But are we? Dr. Mindy warns that many gluten-free products are simply a healthy illusion. Although they lack gluten, they are still loaded with refined carbs and additives that burden the metabolism and make weight loss difficult. In other words, swapping one problem for another isn't a real solution. And have you noticed that many of these processed options leave you feeling hungry shortly after eating? That's because, although they fill your stomach temporarily, they don't provide the necessary nutrients to keep you satisfied. The result? Constant hunger and an out-of-control appetite. The emotional impact of sugar. Sugar also has a direct effect on mental health. Studies show that overconsumption can interfere with the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which regulate mood and pleasure. You know that unexplained irritability or sudden anxiety? These might be linked to excessive sugar and refined flour consumption. That's why, often, we feel bad right after eating something overly sweet. The pleasure is short-lived, but the fatigue and irritability can last all day. How to break free from this cycle and build new habits? The solution isn't just to cut out sugar completely but to learn to replace it wisely. Foods high in fiber and healthy fats, like avocado, nuts, and low-glycemic fruits, help stabilize blood sugar and maintain longer-lasting satiety. It's also essential to pay attention to when we eat. Have you ever tried starting the day with quality protein instead of sugary bread and cereals? This simple change can prevent insulin spikes early on and help balance your metabolism throughout the day. Dangers of consuming wheat and processed foods. Have you ever wondered why wheat and processed foods are linked to so many modern diseases? Or why it seems that the more we eat these products, the harder it is to control weight and maintain good health? What's behind today's wheat, so different from what past generations consumed? And if it's so harmful, why is it still present in almost everything we find on supermarket shelves? Let's uncover the hidden dangers of this grain and processed products. Today's wheat is not the same as before. Modern wheat has undergone numerous genetic modifications to increase productivity and resistance to pests. However, these changes weren't made with our health in mind. Today's wheat contains toxins like BT toxin, a protein created to kill insects, which also disrupts the human gut microbiome. The gut, known as our second brain, is essential for producing neurotransmitters and regulating immunity. When wheat consumption upsets the gut flora, issues like allergies, inflammation, and even autoimmune diseases can arise. Additionally, modern wheat contains a form of gluten that's harder to digest, which not only burdens the gut but also increases appetite. Ever noticed how hard it is to eat just one slice of bread? That's because gluten-rich foods affect satiety hormones, causing you to eat more than necessary. And the worst part? This excess consumption often leads to abdominal fat accumulation, the most dangerous type for heart and metabolic health. The silent danger of glyphosate, how it affects your health. Another alarming aspect is the massive use of glyphosate on crops. This herbicide, in addition to harming the environment, has a devastating impact on our bodies. It promotes leaky gut syndrome, a condition in which the intestinal barrier weakens, allowing toxins and unwanted food particles into the bloodstream. This can trigger widespread inflammation and chronic diseases like arthritis and depression. And the effects don't stop there. Glyphosate also accumulates heavy metals in the brain, impairing mental clarity, memory, and the production of hormones such as melatonin and serotonin. Have you noticed how people are increasingly complaining about brain fog? This sense of mental confusion may be directly linked to consuming products contaminated with glyphosate. Processed foods, a metabolic bomb. If you think swapping bread for a cookie or cereal bar is a solution, it's time to rethink. Processed foods are loaded with harmful ingredients like preservatives, artificial sweeteners, and hydrogenated oils that disrupt metabolism and harm long-term health. They may seem convenient and tasty, but they are low in nutrients and high in empty calories. These foods also increase inflammation levels in the body, harming immunity and promoting premature aging. Even worse, many of these products are designed to create a cycle of addiction. The combination of sugars and unhealthy fats activates pleasure centers in the brain, leading you to crave more and more. It's no wonder ultra-processed foods are labeled as major contributors to the obesity epidemic. And the impact goes beyond the body. Studies show that diets high in processed foods can increase the risk of anxiety and depression. How to break the cycle and make healthier choices? It might seem challenging, but there are simple ways to reduce wheat and processed food consumption. One way is to prioritize fresh and whole foods. Swap conventional bread and pasta for options made with less processed flours, such as almond, coconut, or buckwheat flour. And how about replacing processed snacks with nuts, fruits, and raw vegetables? Another tip is to look for foods grown organically or on regenerative farms that respect the soil and nature. These foods are richer in nutrients and free from glyphosate and other harmful chemicals. Avoid diet sodas and juices. Is that glass of orange juice at breakfast as healthy as it seems? And what about diet sodas? Do they really help with weight loss? The food industry often markets these options as healthy or harmless alternatives, but the truth is quite different. Hidden behind these products are risks that can disrupt metabolism, harm gut health, and even increase food cravings. Have you fallen into this trap? Let's dive into the details and discover why it's essential to reconsider these common beverages. The dangers of processed fruit juices. Did you know that store-bought juices, especially orange juice, are high in sugar, even when labeled as 100% natural? When a fruit is squeezed into juice, its fibers, which help regulate blood sugar levels, are removed. This causes glucose to be quickly absorbed, leading to insulin spikes. Drinking a glass of juice in the morning may seem refreshing, but this habit can create metabolic imbalances that last throughout the day. Moreover, frequent juice consumption contributes to insulin resistance, a condition linked to type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and chronic inflammation. Have you noticed how, after drinking juice, hunger returns quickly? Without the fiber, juice just makes you hungrier, leading to more calories consumed throughout the day. So, is that healthy juice really helping you maintain your health? The deception of diet sodas, a health illusion. On the other hand, many people turn to diet sodas to avoid sugar, believing it's the key to weight loss. But what you might not know is that diet sodas contain artificial sweeteners like NutraSweet, aspartame, and sucralose, which can be just as harmful as sugar itself. These sweeteners trick the brain, activating the same pleasure centers as sugar but without providing real energy. As a result, the body responds by craving more food and drinks, increasing appetite and undermining your weight loss efforts. Additionally, artificial sweeteners negatively impact the gut microbiome, the community of beneficial bacteria that regulates the immune system and digestion. Disruption of the microbiome is associated not only with weight gain but also with issues such as depression, anxiety, and autoimmune diseases. Studies suggest that instead of helping control glucose levels, diet sodas may worsen insulin resistance and increase the risk of diabetes. Why do diet sodas and juices become a vicious cycle? These beverages create a cycle that's hard to break. The artificial sweetness of sodas and the sugar in juices keep your taste buds hooked on intense flavors, making natural foods, like fresh fruits, seem less appealing. Over time, the body begins to require ever greater amounts of sugar or sweeteners to achieve the same pleasure sensation, making it harder to resist cravings. What starts as an innocent drink can spiral into serious metabolic problems. How to replace juices and sodas in a healthy way? If you're wondering, okay, but what can I drink instead? There are simple and delicious alternatives. To start your day, how about green tea or herbal infusions, which aid digestion and provide a slight energy boost without spiking blood sugar? Flavored water with slices of lemon, cucumber, and mint is a refreshing option for hot weather. And if you miss carbonation, try natural kombuchas. They offer the fizz you love with the added benefit of probiotics for gut health. Gradually, you can train your taste buds to enjoy less sweetened drinks. Why not give it a try? How would your week look if you swapped juices and diet sodas for water, teas, and fresh fruit? You might be surprised by the improvements in your energy levels, satiety, and even sleep quality. Why not take this step today and see what your body can do with the right hydration? Beware of fish and conventional origin products. Ever wondered if that sushi or grilled fish that seems so healthy might be carrying more risks than benefits? With rising ocean pollution, some fish have become a worrisome source of heavy metals, like mercury, which accumulate in the body over time and damage health. And that's not all. Fruits, vegetables, and meats from conventional sources also hide invisible dangers due to genetic modifications and the excessive use of agrochemicals. Let's dive into how these practices can impact your health and what you can do to make better food choices. Fish and heavy metals, a hidden enemy. Did you know that larger fish like tuna, shark, and swordfish accumulate large amounts of heavy metals in their tissues? This happens because they're at the top of the food chain and consume smaller fish that carry contaminants throughout their lives. The problem is that metals like mercury accumulate in our tissues too, especially in the brain and kidneys, where they can interfere with critical functions, causing neurological issues like memory loss and concentration difficulties, and even disrupting hormone production. Studies suggest that chronic mercury exposure may be linked to an increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Heavy metal poisoning also affects reproductive health, and pregnant women should avoid fish with high mercury levels, as it can cross the placenta and impair the baby's nervous system development. Now you might wonder, should I stop eating fish altogether? The answer is to choose wisely. Wild salmon, sardines, and trout are safer options, with lower contamination risk and rich in omega-3, an essential fatty acid for brain and heart health. The issue with conventional fruits and vegetables. Have you noticed that some fruits and vegetables look perfect but often lack flavor? This is no coincidence. Conventionally grown produce is often genetically altered to grow faster and resist pests, but this process compromises their nutritional quality. Additionally, they are frequently sprayed with herbicides and pesticides, such as glyphosate. This chemical not only impacts soil health but also promotes what's known as leaky gut, a condition where the intestinal wall becomes compromised, allowing toxins and waste to cross into the bloodstream and causing systemic inflammation. One of the most concerning effects of continuous pesticide use is its impact on mental and hormonal health. These chemicals contribute to the accumulation of heavy metals and toxins in the body, affecting cognitive functions and interfering with the production of essential hormones like serotonin and dopamine. Have you considered how these factors may be quietly undermining your well-being? Mindful choices, a new habit for your health. Does it make sense to spend so much money and energy on diets and supplements while still consuming contaminated foods? The first step to taking care of your body is ensuring we're eating pure, nutrient-rich foods. Remember, you are what you eat, and every choice you make at the table directly impacts your health in the short and long term. So, how about trying a new approach? Replacing contaminated fish with safer options and seeking organic and regenerative origin foods could be a real game changer in your life. Beware of instant oats and regular potatoes. Have you ever thought that some healthy foods might actually be sabotaging your glycemic balance? Instant oats and regular potatoes are classic examples. Though they're popular and seem like innocent choices, when consumed in refined or conventionally grown forms, these foods can rapidly spike blood sugar levels, harming metabolic health. Let's dive into how this happens and explore smart substitutions that can help keep your body balanced. Instant oats, a breakfast frenemy. How many times have you heard that starting your day with oatmeal is a great choice? This can be true, but only if we're talking about whole oat flakes, not instant varieties. During processing, instant oats lose much of the essential fiber and nutrients that stabilize blood sugar levels. What's left is a fast-absorbing carbohydrate that causes a quick glucose spike, followed by a sharp drop, the infamous blood sugar roller coaster. And what comes along with that roller coaster? Uncontrolled hunger and fatigue. The lack of adequate fiber and protein also means you'll feel less full and more likely to reach for snacks throughout the day, impacting metabolic health and contributing to weight gain. If you love oatmeal, try opting for thick-cut or steel-cut oats. Not only do they keep blood sugar stable, but these versions also offer more nutrients and keep you full for longer. The hidden danger of regular potatoes. White potatoes, a staple in many diets, can be silent culprits when eaten excessively. Conventionally grown using pesticides and fertilizers, these potatoes are high in starch, which quickly turns into glucose in the body. Like instant oats, potatoes rapidly raise blood sugar levels, overburdening the pancreas and encouraging insulin resistance. This can contribute to chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes and generate inflammation that affects the whole body. Another concerning point is that many of these tubers are grown conventionally, meaning they may contain pesticide residues. Continuous exposure to these chemicals not only affects the metabolic system but also impacts the gut, where our immunity and well-being begin. Have you noticed how a poor diet can lead to bloating, fatigue, and even mood changes? Sweet potatoes as an ally, balance and flavor. So, what's the solution? A great alternative is swapping white potatoes for sweet potatoes or other less refined varieties grown on regenerative farms. Sweet potatoes are rich in fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins, and they have a lower glycemic index, which helps keep glucose levels stable. Regular consumption not only prevents sugar spikes but also improves gut health, providing essential nutrients for optimal body function. Another benefit is that sweet potatoes contain anti-inflammatory compounds that help reduce oxidative stress in cells. And don't limit yourself to just sweet potatoes. Yam, parsnips, and carrots are excellent options to add color and flavor to your plate, maintaining glycemic balance and lowering the risks associated with excessive refined starches. Mind the details, conscious choices, lasting health. Not everything that seems quick and convenient is healthy. Choosing less processed and organic foods is a powerful way to take control of your health. Small changes, like switching instant oats for whole flakes and regular potatoes for more nutritious varieties, can make a big difference over time. After all, the key to healthy eating lies in the details. It's not just about knowing what to eat, it's about knowing how to choose. So why not start today? Don't leave without subscribing to the channel. Every subscription is essential for us to keep bringing this type of content that transforms your health and well-being. And if you liked what you heard so far, leave a like to help us reach more people who also need this information. Backhand index pointing right. Check out the videos popping up on the screen. They complement everything we talked about today and will surprise you with more valuable tips to optimize your nutrition and improve your quality of life. Pick one and keep this journey going with us. See you there.